A lot of it I haven't. Absolute bedlam. I mean, I wanted to refresh my memory on one article this morning. I noticed that Aaron Dykes must have posted it at like 3 a.m. or something. He had a report out of India of just in the last year. In 1 year, there were 47,500 cases of non-polio paralysis, viral paralysis, and it's got all the top Indian medical universities saying it's the vaccine, that a lot of the kids, get paralysis hours after. And then I've got CBS News, NBC, going back every year, everywhere the UN goes and gives them the liquid vaccine that's full of SV40 cancer virus, I should add. Massive numbers. Pakistan, everywhere. It's actually causing polio to come back. It's weaponized. And I look at this image and videos of Bill Gates going around. That's what he does on his vacation, with a crazy look in his eye. He gets this, I mean, you can look at the photo. In fact, if you guys go to Infowars.com, put it on screen for people watching on PrisonPlanet.tv. Paralysis cases spike in wake of Bill Gates' polio vaccination effort in India. GAVI, Global Alliance for Vaccines Immunizations, blamed for recommending untested polio vaccines. Oh, they were tested all right. And if you look, he gets this, in all the photos, in Africa, India, you name it, he gets this really sick, predatory look when he's doing it. Now, this is a guy whose dad publicly ran Planned Parenthood, deep Rockefeller Foundation operative since the 40s. Army, intelligence, you name it. Microsoft, and people have actually heard, journalists have heard me talk about this, they've gone and researched it and found it's all hidden in plain view, is a total NSA front, just like Google. It doesn't even exist as a private company. It's got shareholders, it funds, the public's tied into it and invest in it. Bill Gates is on record being a eugenicist, on record wanting to reduce population, on record funding Monsanto and their sterilant crops, on record saying, yeah, kill grandma and you can hire 10 teachers and the teachers clap, on record saying give everybody vaccines to reduce population. That's a quote. On record saying humans are bad. And then meanwhile, he funds hundreds of publications, ABC News, London Guardian, go look it up, to write articles daily about him, daily, saying he's this angel who wants to help the brown people. I mean, I'm living in the twilight zone. And then I read Aaron's article this morning, and I got mad. Because Aaron just went off what the Indian doctors are saying and the Indian universities. And they say, yes, it's clearly in the areas they give them this oral vaccine. It is causing paralysis. Basically, it's causing polio. They just call it paralysis. And I already have the past reports. I have CBS News admitting, oh, it is giving them a rare form of polio, and it's more deadly than normal polio. And it's actually causing polio to spread now. And then Aaron writes his article and just quotes the doctors. He did a great job, by the way. I'm not knocking him, but it's not 1/10 as hardcore as it really is in reality. In fact, I just had that article in my hand, and now there's so many hundreds of articles here, I can't even find it. Here it is. And I look at this photo, and it causes intense pain in my gut and my heart. And then it's like 7 o'clock and my little children walk in and they're playing with a puppy. And I look at how innocent they are, and I think of these kids in 1 year, 47,000 plus paralyzed by this. And it's going on everywhere. And then I see articles like CBS News will say, the Pakistani villagers run, because they give Pakistan billions of US dollars and UN dollars, taxpayer money, if they'll take the vaccines. So they come with soldiers and forcibly give it to them. And it describes how in Africa and Pakistan and Central Asia, the people actually have uprisings over this. They know. By the way, I'm not even counting the SV40 he's squirting into their mouth, because that's the original polio stocks in that stuff. All has it. SV40 cancer virus. And it's so crazy. Our pediatrician, he's now retired. He was probably one of the biggest pediatricians here in Austin, and I'm in there, and he didn't have a vaccine-free clinic, but they wouldn't harass you for not taking shots. And he owned the clinic, had a bunch of pediatricians under him. And I was in there one day, and he's doing a checkup. This is like 8 years ago of my son. And he looks over and he goes, you know, I listen to your show. And he goes, you're right. You know, I volunteer for clinics a few times a year. And, you know, it's illegal to give that liquid vaccine here in the U.S. because it has the SV40. And I said, yeah. He said, that's supposed to be shipped overseas. They say that's legal. And he goes, obviously, we know why, but I don't want to be quoted. Don't say my name. Don't say my name if I tell you this. And I said, okay, doctor. He's a man. He looks at me and he says, we give that at the free city clinics to the black kids. And, you know, it's a patient-doctor confidentiality. It goes both ways as a journalist. Somebody tells me, you don't tell anybody who I am when I tell you this. I have a responsibility, a sacred oath as a journalist when I'm wearing that hat, not to reveal that source. But I'm like, you got to go public. He goes, no way. In fact, now that he's retired, I ought to call him up and try to get him on the show because he's top of his class. Well, a lot of people listening will probably figure out who it is. I need to shut up. The point is that it's so sick.